Here's what's going to happen if there is a so-called two-state solution. What you'll have is this powerful Israeli state sitting next to this disempowered, impotent, military non-existent. It won't have the rights to be able to exercise freedom of travel. It'll have an absolutely economically inferior state, and it will always be just one false flag attack away from being pummeled by Israel. And the Palestinians will never get their land back. They will never have the right of return if they sign on the dotted line and say they agree to a two-state deal. So I hope to God that they never make that choice. But of course it is their choice. The Saudi Arabian regime builds hospitals in Israel. It funds ISIS, which is the agenda, which is the instrument to maintain and continue the farcical war on terror. The Saudi Arabian regime could have been helping the Palestinians. Hell, they could be rebuilding Gaza. They could have been using their influence to open the border between Gaza and Egypt. And yet the Saudi Arabian regime sits there doing nothing but funding this Wahhabi Takfiri insanity, this false Islam throughout the region. Everything that's happening in the Middle East right now in terms of the bloodshed is a part of the Israeli agenda of Greater Israel. If we read Oded Yanan's A Strategy for Israel in the 1980s, we find that the agenda for Israel was target number one, to take out Saddam Hussein, done, and also to balkanize, effectively balkanize the Middle East region. Saudi Arabia is feeding, is literally paying for that balkanization policy. We see that playing out in Syria. It's all too clear. We see that agenda playing out in Iraq. Again, all too clear. Saudi Arabia pretends to be an Islamic regime while it sits there and destroys holy sites, including sites of the Prophet himself. It's doing this all the while pretending to be an Islamic nation. It is nothing but a stooge for the West. It is the instrument of finance for this madness we see in the region. So anything that the Saudi Arabian regime does and the Israeli regime does is not helpful to the Palestinians.